What's up guys, I'm Roderick, aka Rodman, and welcome back to another video. With the brand new Zelda game just releasing a few weeks ago, I want to talk to you guys about what I believe the most useful weapons are in the entire game. Now, I strongly believe that there's a difference between usefulness and raw attack power. A lot of these weapons on the list, there's going to be plenty of other weapons that have a better raw attack power than it, but these weapons I believe are far more useful, and you're gonna always want to keep these in your inventory. So let's get right into the video. Now for the first weapons on the list, I'm gonna go with any type of magical rod that you can find in Tears of the Kingdom. Specifically the ice rod though. Obviously, hence the name. Once you hit an enemy with an ice rod, they freeze. And if you didn't know, once you hit that enemy again, once they're frozen, they will take double damage, which I believe is immensely useful, especially when you're fighting higher level enemies, Lionels and whatnot. You definitely want to have something like that in your arsenal. But ice rods aren't the only thing that are useful, but the other rods do have a few downsides, I could say, that you want to be careful of. For example, the lightning rods, yes, you will electrocute enemies, but if you go in for a quick attack, if you have a metal weapon, you could risk electrocuting yourself and taking damage. Or fire rods, if you're next to explosives, you might end up blowing yourself up and killing yourself. So the magic rods in this game are extremely useful. I would stay towards the ice rods, but the other elements do have its uses as well. So let's move on to the next weapon. You guys knew that this weapon was going to be on the list. It's the best weapon in the entire series, the Master Sword, man. It is extremely versatile in Tears of the Kingdom because of the ability Fuse, which allows you to fuse two weapons together to make one powerful weapon. Now, you can do anything with the Master Sword in this game. If you want a magic rod, but it's the Master Sword, you can do that. If you want a great sword, but it's the Master Sword, you can do that. If you want to fuse the Master Sword with the Lionel claw or something, you can do that. You can do anything with the Master Sword in this game. It is absolutely crazy how versatile this weapon is. And the two things that make the Master Sword really special this time is A, you can get this weapon so early in the game. You only need 2 full stamina wheels to get this weapon, guys, which is the equivalent of 20 shrines. So once you complete 20 shrines, you can go right and get the Master Sword. Granted, you know, you won't be getting your health upgrades, but honestly, stamina is much more valuable than health. If you're a competent gamer, you shouldn't really be dying in this game once you get past the early game. Anyways, and the second reason why the Master Sword is very good is that we all know this. We've all played Breath of the Wild. It doesn't break. It only needs to be recharged, which only takes 10 minutes in real time. But we all knew that this weapon was going to be on the list. Great weapon. This game is crazy, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the next weapon on the list. So one of the most useful weapons in the game is actually going to be a bow. Bows are very important, especially in Tears of the Kingdom, because it's a great way to start off fights by getting crits. The best bow in the game, I believe, is the Savage Lionel bow or the Mighty Lionel bow. These two bows are the only bows in the game that actually shoot 3 arrows at once. What does this mean? This means it's going to be easier for you to hit your enemies. And the very cool part about this bow mechanic is that it only takes 1 arrow out of your quiver, but instead you're shooting 3, which is very just useful. That is very useful. It's very easy to get. It doesn't take very much effort. You don't even have to defeat a Lionel to get the bow. So if you're a marksman like me, this is definitely a pickup for you. Go and get you a Mighty or a Savage Lionel bow and start sniping these enemies, man. So let's go ahead and move on to the next weapon on the list. One really important aspect of Tears of the Kingdom is cave exploration and breaking boulders to get minerals. Now, one of the worst feelings in Tears of the Kingdom is finding a cave with a bunch of boulders and ore, but you can't break any of them because you don't want to waste your bomb fruit and you don't have a proper weapon to break those boulders. So I believe that it is very, very useful and very important that you always have either a cobble crusher or a boulder breaker on you at all times. If you guys don't know, the Boulder Breaker is actually the weapon that your Goron companion uses. You can actually get one for yourself through a very short side quest. Long story short, you upgrade a cobble crusher into a Boulder Breaker. They're very, very durable, so you really shouldn't have to do it a bunch. But you should always have those things on you at all times. You can also fuse them with a boulder to make it even more durable and to increase how fast you actually break the boulders. 9 times out of 10, I just one-shot them all. But let's go ahead and move on to the last weapon that you should always have. Now, damage is still very, very important in the game. And if you guys want to absolutely melt anything that you come across, go ahead and pick you up a Savage Lionel Crusher, man. You will absolutely melt anything that comes into your path, man. It's ridiculous. And guess what? You can still fuse it with stuff. So you can get insanely strong weapons if you fuse the Savage Lionel Crusher with other things. Man, it's absolutely ridiculous. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, man. What do you guys think the best and the most useful weapons are in the game? Ramen out. Peace.